everybody, I'm Jennifer Blevin-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today I want to talk about the different types of HRMS systems and how to choose the best one for your needs in your practice. HRMS stands for Human Resource Management System. The first thing I would like you to consider is how much did you budget and forecast using in this area of your business. Different programs cost different amounts of money and it fluctuates kind of extreme, but there are also different features that they offer that you want to consider as well. What is your intent for this system? Do you want to purely use it for time and attendance tracking and maybe processing payroll? Or do you want a more robust system where you can store all of the paperwork and all of the documents for every staff and employee member? Do you want it to be able to do all of the behind the scenes payments for you when it comes to your workers' comp insurance payments, your taxes, that kind of stuff? And do you also want it to integrate with any other kind of applications or programs? I'm probably giving you way more things to think about, but that's good because these are things that should be considered when you do demonstrations with multiple different companies. Of course, there's those common companies that you know about like ADP and Paychex, but there's also other ones that are a little bit more geared towards small businesses and maybe more in your budget or maybe a little bit more customer focused than some of the bigger entities. Another thing that you want to ask about and think about, do you want something that helps you figure out benefits for your staff? Do you want something that will help you with retirement for your staff? Do you want something that will help manage your HR for you and not have to worry about hiring an HR manager or a manager who knows how to do HR? HR can be kind of a very complicated situation, especially when it comes to making sure you're following employment laws and any kind of increases in minimum wage, let's say, or when there comes to be some personnel issues with your staff. Usually people who know HR focus entirely in HR. It may be difficult to find an office manager that's really good at managing your operations in your front and back offices that also is well versed and comfortable dealing with HR stuff. Now, if you already have a manager, you can ask them how they feel about this and if they need someone to assist them or a program or a system to assist them, or if they feel comfortable doing it themselves. There's usually different levels that you can get in some of these programs, either like a full service, partial service, or just the basic. And those are things that need to be decided before you sign up for any kind of contracts and terms. Personally, I like systems that have a very easy to use platform that seems intuitive, and not only for administrators who are on the behind the scenes, but also for the staff and employees, whether they are an hourly, salary, or contracted employee. I also like having very robust system for scheduling and time and attendance. One of the features most of them offer now, and sometimes they charge extra for this, but your staff cannot punch in using their app or online using a web browser on their phone or a tablet unless they're within so many feet of your office. And this comes down to all the technological nerdy stuff that I don't quite understand, but basically it has to do with IP addresses and GPS locations. That's nice if you're concerned about staff maybe exploiting and being late to work, but they clock in while they're driving in, so you don't know that they're late to work if you're not on site and notice that they show up late. And it also can help you kind of keep people from being tempted to make some of those decisions. Being able to request time off and track the schedule in the system is wonderful, especially if you're tracking people's time and you're really trying to avoid overtime, but there may be times that you need to call a staff member in because you get busy and you weren't expecting it, especially when you are just opening and not sure what to expect with patient flow and volume. Then you can hurry up and look at the schedule and go, oh, this person won't go into overtime even with working their normal hours this this week, they have a few extra hours to, come in and still stay under that 40 hours. Or if it's a day by day overtime calculation, like in California, if people work over 8 hours a day, they go into overtime, then that will help with that as well. Doing multiple demonstrations with a sales rep for different systems, I think is a good idea. You can kind of compare them to one another, ask questions, and decide what you feel is going to be most important for your business. I would also encourage, if you already have a manager hired or someone else who is going to be assisting with the administrative part of the business, to do those demonstrations with you. So 2 people can think things differently and ask different questions, and it's always good to have a second set of eyes and ears just in case you miss something or they miss something, and you can come together afterwards and compare your notes. Just some other ones off the top of my head that you could look into are Zenefits, Rippling, Deputy. There are some free versions of time and attendance for people clocking in and out online if you wanted to go that route. Those are the 3 that I've been looking at lately for a client that I'm working with. So we are kind of comparing and contrasting everything. One thing that's really important is if you're using any kind of Google for your overall organization of your company or Microsoft Suite, that you ask if they interface with one another. Some of them have a really nice feature that when you onboard a new employee and you have them fill out all the new paperwork, they can do digital signatures on their paperwork and it's stored in their file on the program. But it also, if it integrates with like a Microsoft or a Google, you can automatically have it assign them a new email address or a new device or whatever. It's totally able for you to set up the backside functionality, so you don't have to go into another program, another system to do that. It can be done all in one place. Now remember, the faster and more efficient you can make things, the more you are going to save money in the long run. Maybe this is something you don't want to spend a lot of money on in the beginning, but all the manual processes that are going to have to be done that these programs can take care of might save money, even though it's a lot of money up front. So definitely keep that in mind, especially if you have one designated person trying to manage all the HR functions and do the operations and do your contracting, credentialing, and all of the other things that need to be done day to day for your staff. Keep that in mind. You don't want to stretch them too thin. You don't want to give them things they're uncomfortable doing or cannot do well. And if you can put a little bit of more money up front for something like these that can help streamline processes and keep things organized from the beginning, it may be beneficial in the long run. If you have any experience with human resource management systems and you have some do's and don'ts, please leave those in the comments. If there's certain features that you feel are just absolutely necessary for your colleagues and that they shouldn't choose a system without it, please leave that in the comments below as well. If you are one of those people that you're not sure and you want to bounce ideas off one another, that's what the comment section is for as well. If you feel this content was helpful, smash the thumbs up button for me. It will help with the YouTube algorithm. And if you like this kind of content and you want more information about things that can help you with your business and being a business owner, especially if you're new to it, subscribe to my channel. The bell icon, if you click that, will notify you when I release new videos. And I hope you guys are all having a very wonderful fall. Take care.